Everybody talks about why some people can rank up and why others can't. And most people just chalk it up to, well, they have tons of experience in other games, or they're just gifted, or this or that. But I've seen tons of gifted players that don't have this one thing, and they're never actually able to reach their full potential. So, in this episode of Shottys Yap Session, we're going to talk about the real reason you can't rank up and what sets you apart from all the pros. Now, if you're new here, this is the series where I yap about a topic, and you guys can turn me on in the background while you do something else, or if you really want to, you can watch the mid-gameplay. Let's get right into it. In professional sports, they talk about 4 stages of development, and we're going to go through all 4 of them and talk about how they apply to gaming and how they apply to you not ranking up. The first one is unconscious incompetence, and this one's as simple as you just don't know what you need to do. It's like when you learn anything for the first time. You see it, you see all the stuff, and you just have no clue where to start, right? It's like when our parents used to get on our Xbox growing up, or whatever console you had, if you had one. They'd get on it, they'd just start touching stuff and just start clicking stuff. That's an example of unconscious incompetence. Then it scales up to conscious incompetence. You know what you need to do, you just don't really know how to do it yet, or your skills aren't there to do it yet. You can think about this as if you're learning an instrument. You learn the instrument, you sit there and it shows the sheet music. So you know you're supposed to click this key, that key, this key, but you're just not good enough yet to do it, or to do it in the same order, or things like that. The next one is conscious competence. You're able to complete the goal you're trying to achieve, but you have to think about it. For example, when you're first learning crosshair placement, you can get great crosshair placement, but maybe you have to think, okay, I have to have my crosshair right here, or I have to have it there, or here, or whatever. And then finally, there's unconscious competence, which means you can do everything you need to do without thinking about it. And overall, that's the goal. All the best players usually reach unconscious competence, where they're able to perform really well without putting really any thought into it. That's also why other people struggle to teach somebody, because they've been doing it subconsciously for so long that they don't really remember what they do, why they do it. They kind of just do it because it's been ingrained into them. Now, for you to reach unconscious competence, there's a lot you'll have to do, so I'm going to run you guys through it. The first thing, before you can even think about anything else, is you have to accept that a lot of you are at unconscious incompetence. A lot of you don't know what to do, but unfortunately, a lot of people don't accept that they don't know what to do, and they try to play and try to improve as if they do, as if they're already at unconscious competence. And the funny thing is, a lot of you guys have already seen examples of this. I know you guys have seen comments or people on your team or friends maybe. A lot of people like to say, well, I have bad teammates. My teammates are holding me back, or I have this Spider-Man insta-locker that throws my games, and blah, 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 blah. Or if I don't play healer, no one will, and we're gonna lose. And they always talk about things like that. But it's always other people that it's their fault. And maybe you're right. Maybe a decent amount of the times, you're right. But then why are there people in top 500 with 70% win rate on brand new accounts? Or why was I able to instantly climb through the ranks? I'm in the same lobbies as you. I'm in the same people, same idiots, same pain in the butts. All the same problems you're going through are the same thing that everyone else is. So why are you the one that's stuck and no one else is? Well, the not nice truth is you're probably the problem. Now, I'm going to get angry comments. Everyone's going to say, well, actually, I'm not the problem. Then this Spider-Man with 2,000 damage and blah, blah, blah. I have 40k healing. What are you talking about? I couldn't be the problem. Take a second. Just take a second and breathe. Would it make sense that someone doing the same thing, for example, Rocket Raccoon, there's a guy who got straight to Grandmaster playing only Rocket Raccoon, and he had like a 70% win rate, and he heal botted. He didn't damage at all. He ended with 0 damage. He did a pacifist run. So if he could do that, why can't you? What did he do differently? Literally just heal botting that you can't. It has to be a difference in skill. That's all it can be. Now the thing is, this also ties into ego, because everyone talks about, oh, you have a big ego or this or that. The thing is, with ego, all the best players pretty much have egos. A very large majority of people that are really, really good have some form of an ego. Now, my form of ego is, I always told people, I only have an ego in things that I know I'm good at. For example, there were certain games I had a really big head in. I was like, I'm the best, I'm really good, whatever. Because I was. I was top 0.1%, things like that. Those were the ones I had an ego in. First time I played Marvel Rivals, or the first time I started playing Overwatch with a friend, I didn't really have much of an ego because I was bad. I knew I was bad. But the thing is, the people who have an ego in everything are the people that are actually the problem. But people generalize ego into one category, just ego's bad, you shouldn't have one. If you've ever watched better players, for example, better player streams, the number one thing you'll hear them do after they die, they say, maybe I shouldn't have used that cooldown, or maybe I should have done this, or maybe I should have positioned here. Things like that are the reason why they're the best. They're almost live VOD reviewing themselves saying, maybe if I played this differently, if I positioned here instead, I would have been able to do this, I would have been able to do that, and then I would have won it. But lower ranked players or people that just don't ever really make it too high are always, my teammate should have healed me. My teammate should have done that. My teammate should have done that. When you're right, they should have, but they didn't. So what are you complaining about? What does it matter? And if you're a good player, statistically, you have a better chance of winning than the enemy team. Because if you think about it, there's 6 people on the enemy team, and then there's 5 people on your team because you're accounted for, right? So if you're amazing, if you're the best of the best, that means there's 5 chances of you getting a bad teammate. While the enemy team, there's 6 chances of getting a bad teammate. So statistically speaking, you have an advantage every single game. Now, of course, there's going to be games where it's like, well, it was unwinnable. But too many people, all they do is look at, well, stats this, stats that, this guy didn't do this guy didn't do that. When realistically, a Spider-Man, for example, Spider-Man doesn't do a lot of damage. He gets kills, though. He finishes, or he gets somebody one shot if he doesn't have the Venom combo usually, because he can't usually finish like that. He isn't going to have the same damage as Moon Knight, for example. Now, I could rant to you about how stats are useless for hours, but I think, actually, you know what? I'm going to rant to you about how stats are useless. That Spider-Man, I would rather a Spider-Man with 5,000 damage and maybe has 15 final blows compared to a Spider-Man with 20,000 damage, but half the final blows. Because then one might be doing their job, one isn't. One of the Spider-Mans are just sitting there tank farming or punching and running in and getting no kills and doing nothing, but he has a lot of damage, so it looks good. And the other Spider-Man is playing the backline, knocking up the correct people and picking healers over and over and over again, or being a nuisance. And that Spider-Man is a Spider-Man you'll see with 70% win rate, ranking up to Grandmaster, Eternity, what's the new rank, Celestial, all of them instantly. And that's what people don't understand. The same way with Moon Knight. As a guy who plays Moon Knight, I love Moon Knight, amazing character. I've had 40k damage though, and I was the reason we lost. Just full on out there. I was why we lost. I would sit there and do a ton of damage, but it wasn't targeted damage, so I would never finish as many kills as I could. So their enemy team healers both had their ults every single fight. And I didn't ask to combo with a Groot, for example. So without the combo, my ult never got kills. It always just farmed other healer ults. And the healers had an ult every single team fight. But I was MVP or SVP or whatever, and I looked like I was carrying the game. Because my other DPS only had like 20k damage. I still had more final blows, more kills, more everything. But I was why we lost. And that's the thing people don't understand. It hurts to say, well, I did so much damage, I did so well, but I'm still why we lost? How is that fair? It's not. You have to have a fundamental understanding of what you're doing. Because that's the whole point. Just because you do damage doesn't mean you're helpful, doesn't mean you're good, doesn't mean you're useful. The same way that if you do 60,000 healing, you could have still thrown. Now, 60,000 healing is obviously an exaggerated example. I'd say maybe more like the people who talk about 30k healing. If you get 30k healing, you might have just had a garbage tank player that you had to cover for over and over. And because the tank player was so bad, you didn't heal the squishies. Your DPS, both of them have 20 deaths. Your tank has 3, and it looks like it was a DPS diff and your DPS threw. But it wasn't. It was probably you and your tank's fault. Because your tank had terrible positioning, so made you force heal him all the time. And you didn't turn enough to heal the squishies. Because realistically, if a tank has 3 deaths and your DPS have like 30 or 20 or whatever, there's probably a healing problem. But people say, oh, well, it's his positioning or it's this or that. Which, yeah, plenty of times it is. But same amount of times I've had where I'm sitting there in front of the healers, but they're not looking at me because the tank is one shot constantly. And what am I supposed to do? I try to play around health packs, then I'm a free kill for the enemy team because sometimes they'll have a dive comp and then a Psylocke will be waiting on the health packs. Then it doesn't matter. Too many people in this game just don't want it to be their fault. I get tons of comments on my videos. Oh, well, this you're wrong about this, or this is nonsense. It's not my fault. It's my teammates. I always have 30k damage and blah, blah, blah. Then I don't say this, obviously, because I don't want to be mean and it serves me no benefit, right? But sometimes I want to ask them, what's your rank? Because most times people who say that are bronze and silver. Most of the people who say, oh, well, it's always my team's fault, they're hard stuck bronze. If you're hard stuck bronze, you are part of the problem. That's real. That's just the truth. You are part of the problem if you're hard stuck bronze and silver. Now, hard stuck, it's variable definition. You know, it could mean 30 games, 50 games, 100 games. If you've played 100 games in bronze, you're the problem. I don't even need to say might be. If you've played 100 games in bronze, you're probably the problem, and there's something you need to work on. And that's not me trying to be mean. That's not me trying to put you down. You have to sit there and have accountability, because most people are at unconscious incompetence. And the people that aren't are usually the ones that are trying to rank up and actually ranking up and getting better. But the people that are at unconscious incompetence, they just sit there and say, well, it's everyone else's fault. Even if they don't have a fundamental understanding of the game. They may not know what the role of a tank is. They may not know what the role of a DPS is. They may not know what the role of a strategist is. So they just, well, it's someone else's fault. For example, they say a strategist, my job is just heal. No strategy behind healing, just heal. So then they get to the end of the game, they see 40,000 healing, and they're like, well, I did my job. It can't be my fault. But that's just a lack of understanding of the game. It's also why do you think Rocket Raccoon is, in higher level play, such a good healer? He has a revive station that turns this game into 7v6. Just that revive station completely changes the game. And if you're playing a death ball sort of comp, and if you don't know what that is, long story short, you're like a really grouped up team, and they don't have a Moon Knight, for example. You sit there with Rocket Raccoon, you're healing your whole team in one shot. Not many other healers can do that. So he sits there and he can make this game a 7v6, have great healing, and the only real downfall he has is his ultimate. His ultimate doesn't heal much. Well, I don't know if it heals at all. I don't really know. I don't think it heals at all. If it does, it's very minor. But it's not a healer ult. It's a damage buff. And that's the big catch with him. If you saw that he had an ultimate like Cloak and Dagger or anything like that, he would be SSSS Uber S tier. He would be banned every single game. Because imagine if you could do what Luna Snow does and give someone an extra revive and shoot through all your team and heal them all at once. That's insane. That's absolutely crazy. But people don't think about that. They say, oh, well, Rocket Raccoon's garbage. How is he garbage? If you understand the game fundamentally, you realize that in a lot of cases, he's not garbage. He's extremely good because he makes the game a 7v6 instead of a 6v6. Or there are people who say, and bro, I've actually gotten this comment. I've really gotten this comment. It's insane. Someone has commented on my video saying how, well, we're strategists, not healers. And you should have talked about how it's also part of our job to run in the back line or get flanks off and do damage. What? What did you just say? We all need to just take a breath. I got a serious comment, and multiple, this isn't one person, that strategists, healers, whatever you want to call them, should be prioritizing damage and flanking damage over healing at certain points in the game. Or not, they didn't even say certain points. I'm interpreting it as certain points because at least that makes some sense. But are we serious? That's like saying, I don't know, I don't even know what to put that into. If you ever played Overwatch, that's like saying Soldier 76 his job is to heal up the team the whole time. Actually, the funny thing is, we do actually have a story about that. My friend and I, we were playing Overwatch, and while we were playing, we had a Soldier 76 on our team, and he was really bad. And I was playing Reaper, and we asked him, like, bro, you gotta shoot the Pharah for us. We gotta shoot the Pharah. And if you don't know, Pharah flies similar to like Iron Man. And he was playing essentially Punisher, and I was playing like, what's closer range? I'm playing like Black Panther, all right? Or I'm playing with Punisher's shotgun. This guy told me, you shoot him. It's your job. My job is to jump up in the sky and shoot the flying character. Okay. Now every time I kill like an Iron Man with a Psylocke character or like a melee character, I always say, look guys, it's my job. No, I did my job, guys. But this is what I mean. This is what people are like. And there's nothing wrong with it if you're trying to learn. But if you're just so stubborn and angry and it's like, no, it's not my fault. I healed 30,000. I did 40,000 damage. I blocked 50,000 on Doctor Strange. It can't be my fault. There's nothing you can do. You're going to stay stuck there. Because once you reach conscious incompetence, at least you know what to do. If your skills suck, but you know what to do, you will rank up. Because knowing what to do is half the battle already. 70% of the battle. If you understand the game at a complete fundamental level, everything else comes and follows it. Because what more is there? If I understand that this game is 6v6, getting a healer pick is basically one of the most valuable things, you should be killing people when they dive you, etc., etc., etc. If you understand that, you win. Even if I miss, even if I suck, if I fundamentally understand, kill them more than they kill me, position here, do this, target these characters, you will improve eventually, and you will rank up, and you will get better. But the first step is accept where you lack. And then there's conscious competence. You have the skills, but you have to think about it. This is ideally where you want to be, because everything after this just comes. It happens, you know? You won't have to say, oh, well, I have to do this, I have to train this way to make it unconscious. Not really. Making your skills and making your improvement unconscious is all about just practicing. It's, for example, what's the quote? I fear the man who's practiced one kick 1,000 times instead of 1,000 kicks, or whatever. You guys get the idea. You know what I'm talking about. But That's true. Because then they've mastered it. It's subconscious. It's perfected. And that's all it's about. You just have to get out of unconscious incompetence. You have to accept you're part of the problem. You have to accept that you're the only thing common in each game, and you have to do something about it. Now, we can call this the middle of the yap. It might be close to the end of the yap, but I want to talk about something. This is going to be a little deeper than normal, but yesterday my Nana passed away. Normally, I don't really talk about stuff like this, or I didn't really want to talk about it, but I was like, it's my YouTube channel. Who cares? You know, at least I should be able to use it to express how I feel. I don't even really know what I want to talk about. It was sad. You know, she had cancer. She had a whole bunch of stuff. It was really sad. I don't want to go into too many details because, you know... But now, I don't know how the videos will be going for the next few weeks, months, because I don't really know where I'm going to live. If you guys didn't know, I've been living with her for a year now, taking care of her every night, every weekend, all that. And now that she's gone, I'm basically going to get kicked out. So it's more of a PSA about, I don't know where I'm going to be in the next few months. I don't know where I'm going to be living. I don't really have the money for a new place. I'm not making enough on here either. I don't really know what to do. But just wanted to explain to you guys. Videos might be gone for a while. I don't know. I'm going to do my best to keep pumping out as much content as possible, but I love you guys so much. We just hit 22,000 subscribers. It's surreal, you know? I looked at it this morning. I looked at my channel. I was like, wait a second. 22,000? When did this get so normal for me to look at? It felt like yesterday I was at 8K praying I'd finally hit 9, or praying I'd get 100 subscribers today. I've been getting like 400 a day, 500, 1,000 sometimes. Do you know how crazy that is? I can only thank her for this channel, you know? Maybe I'll make a video on another channel talking about her, because there's so much I'd like to say about her. But this channel only exists because of my Nana. I dropped out of college to pursue this, and she protected me, basically. She let me stay here and let me work and take care of everything and make these videos and build multiple channels until this one finally blew up. And now it's really blowing up, but now, I don't know, dude. I don't know what's going to happen with it. My poor Nana. I miss that poor baby. She let me move in here. She let me work on my videos. She let me do everything. And then eventually, I told her, I was like, don't worry, Nana. I'm going to get enough money. I'm going to be able to pay for your bills. I'll take care of you. Because she was running out of money for living, basically. So I was like, don't worry, Nana. I promise by the end of this year, I'll be making enough money. Start giving you money to help with bills and all that. And I took care every weekend. Normally, we paid someone to take care of her. But Saturday and Sunday, my girlfriend and I would take care of her. And I was just doing my best to just help her, save her everything. Can't believe she's gone. Sometimes it's so weird losing someone. I go upstairs now, I'm like, hey, Nana. Oh. I got to keep working hard on these videos. I got to pray they blow up. If you want to help me make them blow up, I don't know. Share it to your friends and watch the whole video. And watch my other videos, the whole thing. I don't know, man. I just need to figure out where I'm going to live first. And work. Just work on these videos. Maybe in a year, maybe in 2 years, I can afford something for myself, you know? Listen, if you guys watch this far, I love you so much and thank you. Life's rough. Make sure you value your family members when you got them. Now we talk about video games. I know I was a little rough on you guys this video, but I love all of you. And remember, at the end of the day, if you don't really care about improving, it's a video game. Have fun. Enjoy yourself. Enjoy your friends. One thing is, even with my friends, some of them suck, whatever. I suck, you know? We're all human. Just accept that you're human, you make mistakes, and move on. The number one thing is move on. I try to think about stuff in, will this matter tomorrow? Is this going to matter next week? Most of the time, the answer is no. So stop ruining your own life for something that doesn't matter. Love who you're with. Talk to who you're with. Enjoy your family. Spend more time with them. Do all of it. Because you never know. She was decently healthy a month ago. She just turned 95 on the 1st of January. And then yesterday, she was gone. So 21 days? 21 days later, she's gone. You never know, everybody. I love you guys. And if you want to support me, watch my videos. Comment something nice. I love you guys so much. And share the video with your friends. It helps. Especially because I don't know how many more videos I'll upload in the near future. So I need you guys to take care of me. I'm playing. You know, don't do anything silly. I love you guys so much. Have a good one, everyone. God bless you.